diagnosed with chondrosarcoma in 2017 in my right femur. So, give you a little bit of sort of introduction. So, there's some nice photos. My other half Barry hates the one I put up of us there, but that was after quite a major surgery and trying to sort of live a normal life again. I'm sure my sister's going to be angry with the photo I put up as well. My mum's there, and my son, stepson, Smiley, who just moved back from Australia to try and support me. That's what I'm saying, it's not. So history, I've always suffered with bone pain. Was always told that I had growing pains by the GP, always fracturing things, you know, just wasn't really very sort of strong. Was very active, so I used to just blame it to that. I was a bit of a tomboy. When I was about 11, my left knee completely locked. So I literally woke up one morning, the doctors couldn't straighten my leg. So I got rushed in for surgery. I got told that I have extra bones all over my body. Nothing was sort of specified exactly where. I knew I got one of my ribs, and was told it's completely normal. So that's part of the reason I had pain, and that was it. Unless they caused a problem with anything growth like that, then, you know, they'd just leave it. So I had the surgery, and there was no follow-up with that. So this is what the bone disease I've got, HME, hereditary multiple exosis. So that's just a little slide, so I don't have to go into the details because I'm not great at explaining the science behind it. Basically, they can get a cartilage cap on these bone spurs. As these bone cartilage cap grows, it indicates malignancy. So symptoms, I had deep hip pain in my right hip, so much worse at night. I was exhausted, but I was working a lot, so I did blame it on that. Bruising and sickness, loss of taste. I was told by some people that these aren't normal symptoms of this. I certainly didn't feel ill enough to feel like I had cancer. You always expect to feel really, really awful. Bone pain was really bad. I started to develop a limp, my foot started dropping, and one of our dogs, Dave, we've got Chaz and Dave, Barry named them, not me, suddenly got very protective with me, digging at my leg, pressing his nose in, yelping, things like that, just really acting. So I made quite a bad taste joke to my other half, said, oh, I've either got an infection or cancer. Yeah, dogs can sense that. That stuck in his mind, and I kept getting nagged. These are photos of the dogs. The top one in the middle is Dave. Chaz is there on the right. That's Max, their dad. I had to put him in because he'd be upset if his face wasn't up there. And as you can see, Dave was protecting my leg. That was after surgery, literally sitting over me, not letting anyone near my leg, even if they were trying to help me. I'm going to go on, so it's quite emotional. This is one of my younger sisters, Joanne. I think this is key to mention this because this was part of the reason that I didn't think anything, you know, I'd had cancer. She died in 2016 of a different rare cancer, cortical adrenal carcinoma. There was only a couple of cases known. There's her children just before she died. Molly was 1, Jake was 5. And watching her go through that, you do the usual thing as a sister, standing next to bedside while she was on life support, saying, you know, why is it I haven't got children? Why can't I have cancer? And the sad fact is I also had it at that time. And I think it was really key to sort of think, when other things are going on in people's lives, you know, you don't expect it to be happening to you as well. It's like, you know, what the chances? Where she's my stepsister, so there's no blood relation, so there wouldn't be a link there. It just seemed to sort of, you know, just not happening. Joanne wanted research done, so they're doing stuff like that, and then obviously the diagnosis with me, it really led me to want to make people aware of rare cancers. So skip past that. Right, so diagnosis, that was my thigh. Excuse my legs out there. You can see the stretch marks on there. I kept making jokes that I just missed leg day on one leg and did extra on the other. I didn't go to the gym, I hate the gym. That was the day of surgery at the bottom there. You can see the colouring, the veins, and it was basically, it just appeared and got worse. We went on holiday, Barry noticed and said, look, with the dog and everything, I was really ignoring about going to the doctors, and I ended up with an ulcer in my eye, and the GP said, oh, you're in chronic pain because you can sometimes get run down. And I showed him my hip. Luckily, my GP had seen a case of sarcoma before. He took one look at my thigh and absolutely went mad at me. Why have you left this so long? That looks like a sarcoma. I was like, what's that? Rare cancer. I said, can't get cancer in your leg, can you? Like an idiot. I was told yes I can. He then called my mum and made sure that anything changed in the next couple of days and needed to go to A&E while he referred me for an urgent scan. It did change, so I got taken into A&E. I was laughed at by triage when I said I just thought I pulled a muscle. Said, yeah, they took my stats and they suddenly went, something's going on here. Out of 30 doctors, nurses, including orthopaedic surgeons at my local hospital, they looked at my scans and only one of them suspected cancer. They all suspected a hematoma. I was pulled aside, told it was a hematoma, not to worry, and then I was pulled on my own by this doctor I'd never met, shut the curtains, sat on the bed, held my hand. I thought, this is great, this is, you can tell the bad news coming. And she said, you've got cancer. So I said, okay, what type? How long have I got? She told me I couldn't ask those questions. Okay. So I said to her, kindly, one, please don't do that when I'm on my own, because I think that's, quite a brutal thing. Two, I really want some information, I feel like I was right to know. Got referred to Stanmore, had a biopsy, and it showed, I was told I barely had cancer, were the nurse's words. They said it was mainly benign, tiny bits of grade 1, they took quite a number of sites. So as you can see, the tumour was quite large. I'll show you the MRI. That was it. So obviously the medical people in there, now you can see, they did think soft tissue at my local hospital initially. And that was when it flared up just before surgery. So that was quite a, again, don't know, I thought it was a pulled muscle when I look back. So my surgery took around 8 hours. I had to have my sciatic nerve cut, they cut out quads, reshaped loads of muscles, lost a lot of blood, but they didn't do a transfusion due to risk of infection. Had a dry drain, in my hip, which absolutely was brutal. Unfortunately, during surgery, as it was such a large tumour, the surgeon, it split as he took it out. So I had another scar above where they tried to hold it together and to try and get clear margins. A few bits did fall in my leg, and I was told that that wouldn't be a problem because it was grade 1 and mainly benign. Afterwards, they found I was allergic to morphine, not badly, but so I was in low blood pressure, ridiculous low blood pressure. So right, if anyone's squeamish, there's a photo of the actual tumour. So any children are scared, I'm sorry in advance. Right, so that was my tumour up there, and that's the scars on my legs. As you can see, the skin was pulled tight, they didn't do a skin graft, so it kept splitting. Tumour was 20 centimetres, and not great. So we went on to recovery, and education was key. I was allowed to be on my leg 6 weeks, which was hilarious. My sister had to push me around with a wheelchair with one of those nice sticky out legs, knocked everything over in shock. It was quite amusing. Intense physio, which I did myself at home daily, really pushed it. And had some counselling, which really helped me to help deal with my sister's death, as well as obviously my own diagnosis. We then found out the tumour was grade 2, and when I spoke to my surgeon before and said what happens about the tumour spill, it was no for grade 2. Okay, cross fingers is not grade 2. What if it is? We'll deal with that when it comes to it. It got microscopic margins, I was told, which is less than a millimetre. His pathology report showed one margin was exposed, so there wasn't full clear margins. And that obviously causes a problem with risk of recurrence, and it was where a lot of the grade 2 was. So slides for recovery, my lovely blood pressure all the time. No wonder I felt rough. You can see the dips, that's where my leg bled out. As you can see, that was after the sutures were cut. So I got recurrence. I had it removed in January this year. My surgeon left, and I got a new surgeon. I had some similar symptoms, was told initially that there was no way it was recurring, that as I say, clear margins, I hadn't. kept on every 3 months, didn't have a clear scan. And then I had surgery 15th of January 2019. 2 tumours removed, clear margins, microscopic. The pathology come back absolutely the same grade 1 with some grade 2. Was told that due to the tumour spill, there probably could be lesser cells all around my leg, and we just needed to keep a close eye. I never felt right after I got quite well, but I still had this ache in my hip. Had another new surgeon. I don't know what I do to these guys, but every time I have surgery, they leave, they go to the other side of the world as well. So I'm really sorry in advance if anyone ever operates on me for ruining my career. So I went to meet my new surgeon only a couple of weeks ago with my mum, and this lovely surgeon just did a plain X-ray and they showed another recurrence. This new tumour has been there since January 2018, and it didn't look suspect, but it's grown and the density and everything's changed. So I've got an urgent MRI booked. She's going to do my whole leg and my pelvis, as I'm concerned about it moving across my pelvis. And then surgery is going to be in a few weeks after that. So that's going to be interesting. And some photos, that's my second surgery, and the photos, I had to put it up there, I embarrassed everyone else. That's me literally straight from surgery the second time, absolutely dosed up on oxycodone and everything. So yeah, lovely one. Me with my sleeping mask, my mum trying to take awful photos of me because she's me. And the one with I'm terrible with needles, so I had to show everyone how sad I was about, the drips in my arms. I woke up with that. So we've got goals and support. So awareness is my key thing I want to do. There's a gentleman here that I'm really grateful to, Mr. Nick Kalita. He asked a question earlier. He really encouraged me to be my own advocate and to request my medical files, which is how I got all this information and stuff that, not that was kept from me on purpose, that it might not seem necessary. And that's really helped. We met for a Facebook support group that we now are admins of, which is good. And we've been put in touch with a lot of people. Bcrt have literally changed my life. I was really lost. They've helped my mum. My sister's here meeting them, my other half this time. And they've really helped. You guys have been great. So I just want to thank you. And I know Lauren said earlier about family support. You do lose a lot of friends. It's hard for people to deal with, I understand that, but having the support around you really helps. I think mental health is a real big thing for this because it is traumatising, and you go in just for a normal appointment thinking you're just meeting a new surgeon, and it's just one of those things. The surgery is always one scan away, and you have to deal with a lot of people. I've been told, at least you've not got a really bad cancer because you don't have to have chemo, which, don't be wrong, I'm so grateful. But at the same time, it is a real cancer. It is a serious cancer, and it's we're trying to get more done. So that's it, really. So I just want to say again, just the importance of research, educating yourself, and getting your medical records. Sounds sorry to anyone, but I think it's really important, and sharing our stories, and just trying to sort of link the dots. By meeting people like Nick, we've noticed certain similarities, things like that. It really helps. He's getting embarrassed. Oh yeah, I'm do a little slide, a little dance. So yeah, there you go, embarrassed. So thank you all for listening. Yeah. So I really appreciate it.